includes a long line of pharaohs in ancient Egypt, and goes all the way to like Macedonia, the son Alexander the Great, Persia, Syria, Egypt, Babylon, to Cleopatra, to Charlemagne, the Emperor of Rome, to French kings, to the Queen of France, her doctor Nostradamus, the Habsburgs, the most powerful family in Europe under the Roman Empire, to King James I of England, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, Elizabeth and Elizabeth's other offspring, and Andrew and Edward, Prince William and Harry, from the Charles marriage to Prince Diana, and to today's U.S. presidents: George Washington, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Franklin Roosevelt, and George Bush are all named in the charts as strands of this bloodline. So, here's what I want you guys to know. Remember that presidential campaign that, like, I forgot, it was Bush and I don't remember who else, because I have like a horrible, stupid memory, and I sound dumb, but my information's like really, I'm really smart. So there was a presidential campaign where Bush was running, and it looked like he was totally going to lose, right? And all of this, it was like, then they found, in fact, he did lose. I knew he wasn't going to lose because he was Bush's son, and the original Bush, his father, had already won presidency, right? So that what that meant was George Bush had a very strong bloodline tie into this, what we're talking about here. He had a strong, tie into that bloodline, which is the bloodline that determines who's going to win the presidency. Interesting, huh? So, if the father, Mr. George Bush, won the presidency, that means he was definitely in that bloodline. Therefore, I knew that his son was going to win. All my friends, everybody was like, oh, he's not going to win. Look who's winning now. Da, da, da. And that guy actually almost did win, whoever his opponent was. Stupid me, I don't even remember who it was. And then remember what happened at the last minute? All of a sudden they said there was like a problem with the ballots in Florida, and they had to recount it and some shit like that, and guess who won? President Bush Jr. I knew something like that was going to happen, because you know what? Presidential campaigns are fixed, you guys. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but those presidential campaigns are fixed. Because the winner is already determined by his bloodline tie to this like bloodline that this guy's talking about in this article. It's a whole genealogy. So like it has nothing to do with how well you do in your presidential campaign, how well people like you and all that stuff. Watch. I can predict this year's presidential elect, the one who wins, is not going to be Obama, and it's not going to be Hillary Clinton. You know why? Because first of all, Obama can't possibly have much of a bloodline tie, strong bloodline tie, as we just described, to this genealogy, because he's black. So therefore, he may have 50%, if he's half white, he may have a 50% bloodline tie to this like Roman Empire and all this bloodline that dates back all the way to the pharaohs. Which, actually, now that I mentioned it, black people like do have some Egyptian in them. But the fact that he's like a mix may cause him to not have a strong bloodline association to this bloodline that determines the presidency. Okay? In fact, I doubt it. I doubt it. This is not like a racial comment or anything. It's a bloodline comment. It's like a whatever. And then Hillary Clinton, obviously because her husband, I doubt if Hillary Clinton has that bloodline tie. Okay? I just doubt it. So, what I'm saying is that there's going to be a third party that's going to win, and it's going to be somebody that probably McCain. It could be McCain, being that this bloodline is has a lot of strength in Europe, like Spain, Scotland, and England, and Ireland probably as well. McCain probably has the strongest bloodline genealogy to this bloodline that determines the president. So, unless there's somebody else that I don't know about. I'll tell you the truth, I don't follow politics that much. I just read briefly on AOL News. But I can just tell you, from this article that was left anonymously in many cafes and places where students hang out in Berkeley, this is truthful, and it's going to tell you what exactly is going on and who's going to win the presidency. Sorry to burst your bubble, people. I mean, Obama is going to win only if he got lucky and he looks what, half black and half white. Only if his half black line genealogy dates back to the pharaohs in Egypt. It may or may not. Okay, and his white side dates back to like the Roman Empire or like the British Empire or something like that, of the people that were related to this royal, what is it, like, what would you call it, a royal bloodline? So there it is, you guys. Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe coming from me, a blonde Playboy model that just woke up wearing a cowboy hat and naked in their living room, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with this president.